wanna get to your clothes, gotta get it right now. I wanna push all the limits with you right now.
Welcome to today's video. I am so excited. We're going to be doing my first Decorate With Me for 2022. I'm also going to be doing a Cook With Me where I share how I upload all of my recipes onto my website using Squarespace. I cannot wait to share more of that with you. And we're going to be making my favorite winter recipe, which is short ribs. Let's get right into this video.
Together, let's come whatever. We're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in the world, gotta get it right now. We only need the two of us.
Good morning, guys. Okay, so let me turn the aperture down. Today I'm going to be putting up some spring decor. Well, not really spring. I'm not going to use a ton of florals. I don't want to introduce any like real pinks. I'm going to do mostly whites. I'm thinking of putting some pictures back here, bringing back our fiddle trees, and then I did get a new mirror here, which I am so excited. I'll open this with you guys to see what it looks like. It just got delivered this morning, so I'm excited to check that out. And then in the living room, I think today what I want to do, I need to take the red ribbons down. I'm just going to replace those with something, but I'm going to be on the lookout for some really nice tassels. I want to get really, really nice ones for these curtains. And then I'm thinking I'm going to rearrange the room, put the fireplace back on this wall. And I'm also trying to talk my husband into letting me put the TV, actually not this TV, but a new TV that's a lot flatter, and redoing some of the artwork on this wall. We've had it this way for like 3 years now, and I'm kind of ready for a change. So I'm thinking a new TV there and then changing the artwork up, but you guys are gonna watch that unfold over the next month or two. And then in here I put the tables back. I wanna do a nice arrangement here. I might bring back those cane back chairs and kind of create a sitting area here. I think that would look really beautiful. And then up here, maybe again, another nice floral arrangement. And then over here, I want to do just a simple kind of either a wreath hanging down from this mirror or a really beautiful arrangement that's nice for people when they walk in. But we do need to open this thing up and see what it looks like. It does need to go up into my bedroom. I needed a mirror in there since I gave mine to my girls, but that is what we have on deck today. Today we are just going to do a little decorating and I'll show you how everything turns out, but let's get decorating. Before we get decorating and cooking, I wanted to say thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. I have been using Squarespace for about 10 years now, and it's kind of a funny story. Prior to starting YouTube, I actually thought I wanted to be a blogger, but realized I'm a terrible writer and I kind of have too much going on in the day to actually sit down and have quiet time to write. So I love Squarespace. It makes it very easy for me that while I'm cooking, I literally take a couple pictures. I can go onto the website, add the pictures, create the recipes, put them on there before dinner even comes out of the oven. It connects to all my social media, which if you guys don't know, I am over on Instagram as well. I post a whole lot more over there just because it's a whole lot easier, but I still like to be able to have a nice place where you guys can find my recipes and be able to cook with me as well. I just jump onto my Squarespace account. I'm going to create a new post. I'm going to add the short ribs. I'm going to link the recipe. I'm going to create some kind of click-throughs. If you guys are looking for some of the items that I use when cooking, you're going to find them here on this website. I also like if you guys are looking to start maybe a YouTube channel or just starting to share your unique recipes with people, definitely check out Squarespace. It's where I started, and after some time I felt more comfortable sharing things, and then I got into YouTube and the rest is kind of history. But if you guys are interested in sharing any of your amazing recipes, they even have an e-commerce platform where you can sell the unique things that you guys create. Head over to www.squarespace.com/Lauren Nicholson and save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain name using Lauren Nicholson. I've been using this website for over 10 years and it has really helped me organize a lot of my creative ideas so I can continue to inspire you guys with recipes and decorating and cooking and all the things. before I can get decorating, I really wanted to get this mirror put upstairs. It was so funny because when it was delivered, it was so heavy. And then when I opened the box, I realized there's actually a wooden case around it, which is awesome. I picked it up on Wayfair. I'm going to link it down below. I love how ornate this mirror is. I was looking for something that was nice and thick. Once I get it out of the box, I realized the color is actually gold, but it really does have like a brassiness to it. So I want to actually, more like a copper brassiness. So I'm going to actually do a DIY where I'm going to spray this out gold to match some of my other gold stuff and really make it kind of speak a little bit more to the house. I also realized that it's really thick and ornate, and it actually kind of is too much in my room. I do have a decorate with me and kind of an organize with me and declare with me in my bedroom coming up. I haven't filmed it yet, but this is how the mirror turns out, and it's really, really beautiful. It's super thick. Like you can tell here at the very top how thick that is. I think it's so beautiful. I just think it needs to be sprayed out gold. It's a little darker than I thought. So we are going to do that in another video, and we're going to put that in my room. Even though it might be a little bit too big for my room, I'm really excited to see how it turns out. So I've been wanting to rearrange the living room for quite some time, and over the years here on my channel, I've kind of moved it all different ways, but today I'm going to actually put the couch kind of where the camera is right now. I'm going to move the fireplace to the other side of the wall. I just want to kind of create more of a cozy space in here, especially since it's winter. I've always loved the open concept between the formal living room and the dining room in this house, but it is an 1891 Victorian, and traditionally, you know, the living room was always kind of like a very separate space from the dining room. It doesn't have kind of the modern feel of the homes that we live in today. So I'm going to try to create something more comfortable in here and a little more closed off, and just kind of keep it warm and cozy and see how it turns out. I really want to have this room be a room in the house that doesn't have a TV in it. We do have a full family room in the lower level of this house where the kids watch TV and we kind of all gather to play. We do a lot of games up here and entertaining. So we're going to see how it turns out, but I'm going to be moving quite a few things around today. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think, since I've done so many different things in this room. I've tried so many different chairs and furniture and this new built-in. I can't wait to see what you guys think. Tell me in the comments down below if you guys are kind of looking to switch things around too. I just really feel like I want to try and explore some new ways of decorating and doing things in my house. I feel like it's been the same thing every single year. I just want to do something different. But tell me if you're feeling the same way.
I bet you think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you, and that we're good the way we are. But I don't know that much about you, what things you like and what you don't. It's not that long since I met you for the first time. You know we should work it out. You know we should work it out. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? And will you lock me down?
For the living room, I wanted to pick some greens and blues and some neutral colors just to kind of bring some warmth into the space. It's still pretty cool up here in Northern California, and we've had finally a nice rainy winter, so I want to have lots of blankets for when the kids and I are playing card games. We've been really into playing card games recently and playing Uno, so it's been really fun to kind of crowd around this circular area and kind of all be very close but also cozy with our blankets by the fireplace. And I just want to create something that's something really nice that we can just enjoy until Valentine's Day. I decided to move these chairs. They felt too small in this corner, and the furniture in here is already a little bit too big, but I decided to bring back my cane back chairs chairs and make a nice cozy spot over here for my husband and I to play dominoes.
To know you better, how can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? Will you let me down before I'm too invested? We should take it easy. Maybe we could test this and work out our feelings. Baby, will I love you? Tell me, do you want me?
I love these little packs of felt bottoms that we buy on Amazon. I have it on literally every piece of furniture we have, so because you guys know I'm always moving things around, so it's so nice to be able to slide them in and out of the rooms without scraping up these beautiful original floors. But I think this looks a lot better. I still really want to rework our entrance of the house. I feel like it just needs something. I don't know what it is. Tell me in the comments down below. Do I need to like reimagine that kind of bench seating back there? The story is about that seating is across the street is a beautiful church, and the gentleman who built our house was a banker. He was like the banker of our town back in 1891, and he had the house behind us was his little house, and then he built this house, which was his dream house, with his wife, and they were big supporters of the church across the street. So when they actually built this house, they put one of the pews into this entryway, and then also to the right, the door, kind of the entryway going into the living room, the arches were also to mirror the archways across the street of the church. So I always thought the priest across the street lived here, but it turns out it was the banker. So I love the little parts of this house. There's so much history. I'd love to do a video one day talking about all the little nuances of the house and share all the crazy things we found in the walls when we had to redo the house. In 2014, we had a really, really bad earthquake here, and our house came off the foundation, so we took 3 years to rebuild it and preserve it, and I've never done a restoration, so that was an amazing experience, but it took us 3 years and like every dollar we had. But inside all these walls, because it was a lath and plaster, we found all these amazing old pictures of people who lived here and children and toys, and we kept all of it. So I'd love to share that story with you guys someday. For the entryway, I just want to keep things really simple with some florals, and then over here I have some extra paintings lying around. We actually just purchased 2 of these for Christmas for our kids, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to stack them and show like a little bit of like a creative way of not hanging everything, but also creating a vignette of, you know, we have so much art that we can just kind of stack it up against the walls. I've always loved that Parisian look. But I'm going to add some vintage corkscrews here, and I will also add some florals on the other side just to kind of bring in the warmth from the entryway.
Strangers again. I thought we'd never fall.
For this really pretty sideboard I just picked up at Wayfair, I wanted to add something really linear instead of doing a wreath on this mirror, and I found these beautiful trees at HomeGoods, and I absolutely love this. I absolutely love these blue pots. They kind of have like a nice brush stroke to them that brings in a little bit more of a contemporary feel to the house. I'm always kind of like at this place of like Victorian, contemporary, Victorian, modern, I don't really know. And I obviously wanted to put Miss Ellie back on her books. If you guys are new to my channel, we had a Rhodesian Ridgeback who was 15 years old that passed away 2 years ago, but I can't let it go. So I feel like she's always there watching over us, and it just feels so good to have her home. But I'm going to add these trees back in the corner. I love them. I want to get 1 or 2 more for the house, but I'm not sure where I want to put them yet. And then for the mantle, I found a couple topiaries from a couple years ago, and I added just a simple blue urn. I wanted to make this just nice and simple, kind of quiet. I also don't want to argue too much with the beautiful artwork on this wall, so I just thought I'd put a little section over here to just warm up the fireplace.
I better get started. It's time to get my head up again. You said that you had to. I'll try to forget you. Just didn't think we'd end up this way, like strangers again. Strangers again. Like strangers again. Oh, I know things will never be.
So I wanted to add just a simple domino set. We play this pretty much every week, and some cards. I told you guys we've been playing cards a lot, so I wanted to add those here and then move into the kitchen. I wanted to add just a very simple wreath up here just to kind of keep things nice and quiet in here. I'm not sure what we're gonna do for Valentine's Day yet. I really need to kind of get my head around it, because every year for Valentine's Day I've always gone over the top. I'll link some of my videos in the past. I've done some beautiful flowers and I DIY'd some beautiful messages on the side of the house, and I just don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I really do need to kind of get myself organized. But for the kitchen, I'm just gonna add a simple urn, some flowers, and light a nice candle, and I'll take you guys on a quick tour and show you where everything went and how it turned out. And then we're going to head into the kitchen and start making our amazing short ribs.
Do you miss me at all? Do you think about the things we used to do? No, you couldn't stand tall. So why didn't you call? So many years has gone by, but I think about you all the time. Looks like you're changing and all, but why didn't you call? Something in the air, always something in the air. Inexplicable, I can feel it in the air. Can you feel me? Can you feel me? Can you feel me? Do you miss me at all? Do you think about the things we used to do? No, you couldn't stand tall. So why didn't you call? So many years has gone by, but I think about you all the time.
I always love videoing and watching the day completely turn in a video. It's starting to turn into night and I cannot wait to get started on our short ribs. But before we do, I just love how everything turned out nice and clean, nice and simple. You know, if you have a good artwork on the walls, you don't need a whole lot of decor to kind of like show your personality in a space. So I feel like this turned out really nice for today, but I do really want to do some new things this year. So if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and get notifications regularly of when I post. I try to post every single Sunday and Wednesday, so that makes things nice and easy, and you can just get it delivered right to your YouTube account, and it's totally free. So if you would love to, I'd be so honored to have you. But for today, that's all the decorating we have, and now I cannot wait to jump into the kitchen, because sometimes I feel like cooking is more my skill set than decorating. I'll tell you that much. Okay, so here's what we're going to be working with today. I'm going to be making, this is my mom's recipe. She gave me this book of all her recipes when I got married. And it's a really basic recipe. I have about 5 pounds of beef short ribs, which I'll show you exactly how these are cut. You're going to want to go to a specialty meat shop to get these because they don't usually sell them at most grocery stores. I've got some celery, some carrots, onion, garlic, simple mirepoix. Then I'm going to be using a little Italian parsley, and then some thyme, sage, a little bit of rosemary, some butter. I'm going to need a lot more than that, but I just wanted to get that out to start with. And then I have red wine using a Zinfandel, Merlot, Cabernet. I usually like to use something that's really full-bodied, so I have a bottle of red wine, some beef broth, and then I'm going to be finishing it with some polenta. You could also do mashed potatoes, or even, I always like to use like a nice egg noodle or a fettuccine on the bottom. But anyway, that is all you need for this recipe, and let's get cooking. Before I cook anything, I always pre-prep all my ingredients. I always find that it helps me kind of stay a little stress-free in the kitchen. Since I don't just make simple dishes, I always try to, I don't know why, I just really enjoy cooking, so a lot of times my simple dinner for our family of 6 is always pretty elaborate, so I like to pre-prep everything so I don't get flustered or stressed out. So for this recipe, all I'm gonna do is just roughly chop up a couple carrots and some celery. I'll definitely link this recipe down below. I've already put it on my website, so if you wanna head over there, you can check it out there and download it. But I'm gonna be cutting that up, some onions, get the garlic ready, and just get everything ready to go and on the side of my stove. These ribs look incredible. I wanted to tell you, if you guys are going to go buy these, there are 2 different ways you can get short ribs. They're either flanken, which is very thin. You see that a lot of like Korean barbecue or riblets. And then this is English style. So each piece has a full bone in, and it also has a little kind of membrane on the back. When I go and order mine, I always ask them to remove the membrane for me. Otherwise, you can do it yourself. There are a ton of videos on how to do that. Prior to cooking them, I like to season them with a little bit of salt and pepper, kind of let them rest while I'm going to be bringing up some olive oil in a Dutch oven. We'll get to that part next. Okay, so over here I've got our celery, carrots, onions, garlic. I have these beautiful short ribs, all seasoned, just with salt and pepper. Look at how big those are. Oh my gosh, you guys. What I love about this recipe is these actually fall off the bone. They're super delicious and so good to eat during the winter. They're just gonna warm up your whole body. So over here I have our Dutch oven. I get a lot of questions about this big boy. This is actually an antique. And I have a couple of them, but this is the biggest one I have. I think this is a 12 quart. I wanna say, I don't know. I'm not sure, maybe it'll say on here. No, it does not. Anyway, it's a big boy, but I like to do my short ribs in these. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cook these up with a little bit of olive oil and butter in here. We're gonna sear them on all sides. Then we're gonna get the wine in there, our vegetables in there, our seasonings in there, herbs in there. Bring that all to a nice boil, and then we're gonna pop in the oven for about 3 hours. All right, let's get cooking. I can't help but add a little bit of butter while I'm searing these, but once that's all melted, I'm gonna go ahead and start skin side down. I like to finish all of the sides and then do the top and bottom. Basically what we're gonna do is sear these until each side is nice and crispy golden brown. We don't wanna fully cook them because we actually are gonna do that in the oven, but we just wanna lock in all the moisture and flavor. I find if you just put it straight into the Dutch oven and bake it, all the flavor falls off and the fat just doesn't really incorporate well with the wine. So what I like to do is sear everything on each side, slowly allowing each piece of the rib to hold up the others while we get each side, probably like 1 to 3 minutes depending. Just keep checking it. You'll see it has a nice crispy golden brown crust on it. While those are cooking, I also like to continue to add olive oil as needed, and I make sure that everything stays in the pan because we're going to use those little brown bits later. Once all of the sides are done, you can take them out, set them on the paper beside you, and start the next batch. I usually like to do these in batches of 4. Today we're going to be using 8 short ribs in total. we're gonna let this sit for a second. I'm gonna be adding a little beef broth in here just to get it, you can kind of see it smoking a bit. So what we wanna do is put a little beef broth in there after we reduce the temperature so it stops burning, and then we'll start to whisk off all the brown bits because that gives it some really great flavor. So you don't wanna throw that away. But here are all 8 of our beautiful ribs here. They look amazing. This kind of gristly part you see here, this like kind of white fatty part, you want to keep that. That's going to give it some really great flavor, and that fat will actually kind of keep the moisture in these ribs as well. So over here we have our onions and garlic. I'm going to start with those, kind of reduce those down for a minute or two, and then we'll throw in our carrots and celery, our herbs, and our wine. Get all of that ready to go, put in a bunch of butter. Then we'll return all of our ribs back to the pot, let that come to a boil, and then put it into the oven. Okay, let's keep cooking. Look how pretty this little roux is. You could turn this into a gravy if you guys just wanted to add a little bit of flour in there. That could make a great gravy as well if you were making a different dish. But you got all the salt, pepper, and the fat, and you've just got a little bit of that. But anytime you guys have those little brown bits in the pan, just add a little water or a broth, and it'll come right off. All right, I'm gonna throw in my onions. And we've got our garlic here. All that up. Just a little bit more butter in there. And we're just gonna melt that all down. Go ahead and turn your heat back up to about a medium low. Let this kind of just saute down. Oh, that looks so good. Oh my gosh. I wish you guys could smell my kitchen. Look at how great that sauce looks too. Again, would make a really terrific gravy. We'll let that cook down for a bit and we'll come back. Once you've cooked down your vegetables, we can go ahead and add the wine. This is just one 750 ml, just a single bottle of wine of Cabernet. I'm going to add my spices in here. I love how the butter immediately rises right to the top. That's some good fat right there. So we've got thyme, we've got rosemary, and we've also got some bay leaves. I'm going to mix all of that up, and then once it comes to a boil, I'm going to start to add my short ribs. Once you get all of your short ribs in there, I like to top it with some beef broth. That way none of the short ribs are sticking out. It will dry them out if they're not totally submerged. So I just like to add a little beef broth. You could also add some more wine if you prefer it. But I'm going to get all of this to a boil, throw the lid on, and put it in the oven for about 2 hours. I will put a link down below for my website where you can actually get the recipe and make this at home. It's super easy to make and it's so delicious. If you're super busy during the day and want to make this ahead of time and have it ready to serve at night, it just sits in the oven and it's so easy. So typically while dinner is cooking, I like to open my computer and get on my Squarespace account and actually start to type out the recipe. Like I said in the intro of this video, I really don't enjoy writing. I really like the creativity of using Instagram and Facebook as a medium to kind of share my recipes. So it takes me all of like maybe 10 minutes to actually upload a very quick recipe that you guys can print and download. And this is pretty much how I use it. I really would love to know in the comments down below if you are planning to start a YouTube channel or a blog
vlog this year, please let me know so I can come over and support you and start to cook your recipes here on my channel. I really love this platform, and I really would urge you, if this is the year that you've been waiting for to start doing something creative that is about your unique gifts, definitely start today. Oh my God, this looks so delicious. Okay, a couple things I want to say. I'm going to be adding polenta underneath those just because it's my favorite thing to do, but it really makes a difference. If you are going to be adding vegetables to this, you do need to cook them away from the meat. I typically don't serve this with the carrots or celery. I always find that it's much better to just add some vegetables on the side that don't cook in the meat with the bone broth. But anyway, this looks so good. I wish you guys could smell how good this is. I add just a little fresh parsley on top because I love the way it tastes. It's so fresh, but here they are, fall off the bone short ribs. This recipe is so simple and so delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed today's recipe. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're returning, I cannot wait to share so much more with you this year. It has been so much fun last year. I cannot even wait to see what we do this year. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. I'll see you real soon. Bye.